It's time to duel. Hello once again, watchers of good movies. My name is Nick Pell, and this is once again coming from my apartment. Now today we are going to be talking about the film YuGiOh, The Dark Side of Dimensions. Now as a kid I watched the original YuGiOh series a lot. I was obsessed with it. I played the card games a lot, and it was just a big part of my childhood. I have not really gotten into the series that have spun off from that, like GX and the other stuff. I watched a little bit of GX and never really got into it. So the main series has always been my core YuGiOh knowledge, and you really just need to know that show in order to really enjoy this film, because it doesn't take anything from GX or any of the spin-offs. It focuses on the core anime series, and it's really fun. Part of the reasons why it's really fun is that it has the original voice cast returning. So all of the voices in this film, maybe besides one that I noticed, was the original cast, and so it has that nostalgic feeling to it. It sounds exactly like it would on the TV show, and so it was just a really fun return to the series for me. Part of what also helps is that the animation looks extremely crisp. It's obviously up to date. The show has been off the air for, I believe, around 10 years or so now, and so the animation has got a huge update, and it looks fantastic on the big screen, and it was just a really cool thing to see. And along with that, the 3D rendering, or the CGI renderings of the monsters which are used in the duels, those are also really neat to see on screen, because they just look really cool with the technology that they can do now. There's also a ton of fan service, as you would expect for this film, because the only people who are probably going to go out and see this thing in theaters are the fans, or the people who grew up with the original show. So there's a lot of callbacks to events that happened in the original show, like Bakura's Millennium Ring, and the end of the show itself with Atem going to the afterlife and no longer residing in the puzzle itself. And the main plot of this film, I should probably say, is that Kaiba is obsessed with reassembling the puzzle in order to resurrect the Pharaoh. He believes that that will happen, and while he's doing that, there's another force at work which has this other power which came into being when the Pharaoh went to the afterlife, and so he's trying to use that to take down Yugi, because if the Pharaoh comes back, apparently that power vanishes forever. So yeah. So in that regards, the main villain of this film, I don't remember the name offhand, but while his backstory was really well done for the 2 hours that they had to do it, I did feel like he was more of a distraction than anything, because he didn't really have ties to the original show. He's just kind of another dark person who was using bad things to do bad things. The main thing that people want to see in the show is Yugi versus Kaiba. Those are the two head honchos of the dueling universe in this series, and so you want to see these two guys go head to head. That's what we want to see. So the villain ended up being a lot more of a distraction than anything else. If they had just focused on Kaiba trying to reassemble the puzzle, he and Yugi having to duel, that would have been really entertaining in and of itself, and I think it would have made for a little bit of a more entertaining film as a result. Now the duels themselves are very fun to watch. They're very fast paced, and that helps a lot because they don't have to try to stretch out the whole duel for a 3 to 5 to 7 part episode. They can just go to it, go, and the duel is done in about 5-10 minutes, which is really unfortunate because those are the best parts of the film, and a lot of the stuff in between can get kind of slow at times. I was checking my watch here and there, but the duels themselves still extremely entertaining to watch. And this show, it does still have a level of cheesiness to it, like, oh hey, we're gonna be friends forever, and friendship is the key to power and whatnot. And so there's those aspects to it which you can kind of figure are going to be in the show. It didn't really bug me that much, but being older now, it didn't really appeal to me as much as it might have when I was younger. And then one thing I want to touch on really quick is Kaiba, because he is probably the most interesting character of this whole series, in my opinion, because during the main show, if you'll remember, he was very skeptical about the idea of pharaohs and millennium items and the powers of Egypt and all that stuff. And so throughout the show, he's very skeptical up until apparently the end of the show. So in this film, it takes place about roughly 2 years, I would say, after those events, and he is obsessed with the Pharaoh. He's a full believer, and so it's just really interesting to see that turn and the obsession that he now has with resurrecting the Pharaoh and doing that duel, which he can possibly win now. And it's just a really interesting turn for the character, and I really want them to resurrect the show now, because I think this would be a really fun jumping off point and just seeing where these characters can go in the future. And so in that regard, the ending is also very, very fun to see. It has kind of an end of the world type of feel to it, and so the very last part did seem a little bit rushed in my opinion when the big climax finally happens, but it was still entertaining in the end. And it does have something of a small cliffhanger, which I would think that it'd be really fun to do kind of a short film for, just based on how it ends. But those are just my thoughts, guys. I really enjoyed Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Side of Dimensions. Like I said, it had its issues, but it looks fantastic. The voice cast is back, so it has a ton of fan service in that regard. The duels are really fun, and Kaiba continues to evolve as a very, very interesting character. So those are my thoughts on Yu-Gi-Oh! The Dark Side of Dimensions. Definitely check this thing out if you are a fan. If you're not a fan, you'll probably hate this film because you'll have no idea what's going on and not understand the concept of dueling. So that's your loss. So guys, those are my thoughts. Let me know yours in the comments down below. Did you like it as much as I did? Did you hate it more than I did? Let me know. Like, favorite, comment, and subscribe. Once again, if you so choose, I appreciate it immensely. Also, let me know if you have watched beyond the main original show with Yu-Gi-Oh! Have you watched GX and the rest of those shows? Are they good? Should I check them out? Should I do reviews on them? Let me know. As always, my good people, my name is Nick Pell, and once again, keep on watching.